All right, welcome back to another Grand Cross video. Now, I think I've shown my box in the past week than I ever have in the entire span of doing YouTube. So I know that you guys have seen my box so many times, but I think it's important that I stress why you guys should work on your Rs and SR characters, because in my pushing account CC video, I don't think I explained that thoroughly enough. And I actually had a comment saying that you should work on your Rs and SR characters, at least give them, level them up to 70 or 75, somewhere in that range. And I do agree. Now, I know SR characters aren't ever going to be on the scale of SSRs, but some of them do have more value than, a lot of SSRs in the game. So Green Gil and Blue Gil, I would argue, have probably the highest values of SR characters. I mean, there are some that are better than these two, obviously, right? But for like PvP, these guys are kind of goated. Like, I think people use these two SRs more than they probably would use, let's say, Red King, right? And he's an SSR. Hauser, he's an SSR. Blue Demon Meliodas, he's an SSR. Like, I think they would actually use these two more than they use some of the SSRs in the game. And the reason for that is because they are very, very good sub units. They work very well in the 4th slot for, one, blue characters, and two, just increasing your defense related stats. So they're really, really good. And they'll be very good for the reverse stages. The reverse stages are very, very, I would say, difficult for newer and returning players if you don't have a built box, right? So if you're a new player, like, reverse stages are pretty much in-game content. Like, you have to have a very good, I wouldn't even say like a large good amount of units in your box. You just have to have these units worked on. Like, again, 70 to 75 would be good. If you're having trouble beating a specific reverse stage. Like, Blue Jericho is goated. Like, she's so good. Like, she's one of my favorite SRs in the game. I would say she actually probably is my favorite SR in the game, because she's just, her kit it's nice. For an SR character, it is nice. Had she been an SSR, I honestly think she would have been, I think she's still, to this day, even though she's, a starter game unit, I think if she were an SSR to this day, she would still be pretty good, because having Sever on single target, really good. A heal card, very, very nice. And then she has this, which causes bleed, which obviously scaled off an ultimate can be dangerous, right? It's good. And then this increases speed, attribute, allies with attack related stats by 10%. So she is good. I mean, her stats, I kind of wish they would get buffed, but I mean, it's not the worst in the world for an SR character. It's not the worst in the world. I mean, decent crit chance, like 55%, 205. Oh wait, I think I have crit damage, right? Do I have crit? Oh no, I don't. So she just, okay, so 205% crit damage. I mean, it's pretty good. That's pretty damn good, right? So she is one of probably my favorite SR character in the game. But it is important to work on your Rs and SR characters, because they can help you a lot. Hugo low key is an underrated R. Like, he low key is kind of good. I know it's crazy. He's an R character, so his stats are horrendous. They are actually dog water. But his kit, he has Rupture and he has Weak Point. That's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually pretty good. And his ultimate has Weak Point as well, and you guys already know ultimate Weak Point is very strong. And then he gets an increase, he increases allies defense related stats by 20% when his ultimate move gauge is completely filled. That can somewhat be good. Like, that can somewhat actually be pretty damn good. So Hugo low-key for our characters is an underrated gem, because if they have buffs, he can literally do 2 times damage. If they have debuffs on him, he can do 2 times damage, and his ultimate can do 2 times damage if they're debuffs. So I mean, it's he's not bad. He's he's decent for an R character, I would say. Like, in terms of R characters, he's probably, I would say, one of the best, right? Like, no one uses Taizo. What are you gonna use Taizo for? What are you gonna use Taizo for, right? Even though I have him 4-star Awaken, I actually never did showcase this unit, did I? Like, I don't think I ever showcased this unit. His passive is okay. Like, decreases allies damage taken by 20%. That could actually combine very well with Arthur. Now that I'm thinking about it, that actually could work. I might do something with that. But Taizo as an arc character, like, no one's gonna run him. No one's gonna run him over. Let's say I don't even know. Blue Merlin, like, he's not that great, but I could see the potential of running Hugo over Blue Merlin, because Blue Merlin doesn't do jack squat. Like, she doesn't do jack diddly squat. What does she do? Like, this card is so, like, it's bad. It's so bad. Just, I don't like this. I wish they would buff this. I really do wish they would buff this and make this part of the card at rank 2. Like, I wish they would at rank 2 decrease ultimate move gauge depending on the amount of skill D ranks. That's it. That's all I want. And I wish they would buff the damage multiplier on this a little bit too as well. But I mean, yeah, she's not like, you know, she's bad. She's a bad character. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat shit. She's a bad character. So no one's gonna run, you know, Merlin over pretty much majority of the units in the game. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? But yeah, no, R characters and SR characters are very important. Like, some of them can be essential, especially for SR only runs, like this DN. She's pretty good. She actually is really, really good, you know, considering that she has this passive which can help pierce rate units, like Blue Demon Meliodas. If you don't have Blue Lily or something like that, she can be a potential, you know, option for PvE content. You know, she has this as well. Removes stances and seals them as well, which is pretty good. She has decreases defense related stats, which doesn't attack, so it goes through barriers, which is very, very good, right? And then her ultimate is a pierce ultimate, but I mean, I don't think that really matters all too much. But she's not bad. Like, she's not bad for an SR character. So, you know, increasing your SR characters is very important, not only to push account box EC, but just to complete some of the reverse stages. Because if we let's go ahead and let's take a look at the reverse stages, right? We go take a look at the reverse stages, and the reverse stages actually do require you to use units that you would never think to use, right? They just use like Weird Fangs, Holy Knights, you know, Death Pierce's squad. I don't even know what they're called. You know, something of the Blue Skies or something like that, right? So we go to the Leona's castle. Like, they're used like Hauser, Guild Thunder, and Dreyfus. Guild Thunder, Jericho, Hellbrum, and Dreyfus. Right? You're gonna want to get some of these SR characters increased, because there are different strats to beat stages. Like, you're not just gonna go in with Red Guild Thunder, Vivian, and Blue Hendrickson and win. You're not. You got to think about it, right? Because you're facing these you know, these CPUs, and they have different abilities. Like, they have different passives and everything. So you got to think about what you're doing, how you're doing it, and when you're doing it, right? So that's why it's important to get some of these Rs and SR characters up. Because if we go, like, let's move to the West District. Vivian, you got to use Vivian against Gulther. Yeah, like, that's Gulther and Meliodas. Wow. Okay, so you have to use her against both those units, and then this stage is actually kind of difficult. I'm not gonna cap. Like, this stage, I hate this stage with a passion. You're facing just Meliodas, but it's so difficult, right? Because Meliodas has counter, and he has this, which does a lot of damage at rank 3. He also has this, which stuns. He has a lot going for him. Even though you're using 3 units, he alone is just he's crazy, right? He actually is really, really crazy. So yeah, you want to go ahead and just increase your Rs and SR characters. Like, don't ignore them, guys. It's very important that you do push you know, these Rs and SR characters as much as you can. I would say 70 to level 75 is probably a good point to stop if you want to. You can see that I have some of my SRs at level 80 just because I want them to be. I feel more comfortable if my Rs and SR units are level 80, because I just feel like it would help out much more than they would at level 75. You know what I mean? So that's it. That's why I'm making this video. Very short, sweet, and simple. If you haven't already, go ahead and please work on these SR and R characters. It's not gonna kill you. You know, it probably give you something to do in the game as well. So go ahead and work on that. But yeah, guys, if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and leave a like for the algorithm. Comment below if you're gonna work on these R and SR characters now, if you already have. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below. And you guys already know, as always, I will see you all next time.